But he touched me. He touched me and thank you. Thanks, everybody.
So, if you have questions for Ms. Leia, she'll be glad to address them. But a few words first about your concert.
Okay.
Sige.
As you can see from the poster, the show is called Songs from the Stage, and it'll be a musical theater themed concert. The last time that we did a show where all of the material came from a musical was in 2002 with the Broadway concert. And since it has been quite a while since we've done an exclusively musical theater only show, we thought that it was about time to do another one. So many musicals have opened since 2002. So it would be a cool idea to feature a few of those new ones, as well as sing songs from the tried and true shows that we have all grown to love over the years. We'll feature Andrew Lloyd Webber, of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think we'll have a little Bublé like Schomburg. We have, I think, Kayab and Joey Reyes. I think we have that one song. I'm trying to think what else. And shows that, and actually songs that started their lives elsewhere that ended up in musicals will also be included. So you may find yourself saying, oh, that ended up in a show and I had no idea. In shows like Beautiful and Jersey Boys, which are jukebox musicals with stories. Just to cite a couple of examples. But it's going to be with the ABS-CBN Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Maestro Gerard Salonga. It will be directed by Bobby Garcia. Our scriptwriter is Nikki Munoz, and our guest list has not been 100% confirmed, so I cannot reveal who my guests will be. But when everybody has signed on the dotted line and has said yes, then that's when we'll be able to tell you all who will be singing along with me. Well, I can't reveal that my daughter will sing with me, so that should be fun. She is obsessed with musical theater, Phantom of the Opera in particular. So I think she's, this will be a good fit for her. And hopefully this concert and hearing a lot of the music from here will further increase her enjoyment of this art form, especially since I work in it. If you have any questions, I will gladly take them. Questions? Mr. Mario.
Yes, Mario.
Hi, Lynette.
Hi, Mario. Missed you from last night.
I know, so long
And
ago.
congratulations for that award.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And we wish you bon voyage.
Yeah, I leave next week for Sydney, and I'll be doing concerts at the Sydney Opera House, which is kind of a bucket list
Yeah?
item that I can check off on February the 3rd and the 4th. Gerard and I are going to be working in that story venue. I mean, I've seen it, and I've taken a tourist-type tour of the place, and it is quite breathtaking. And when I went into the actual concert hall where I would be performing, I did this a couple of years ago. We were standing all the way in the back at the top, and I had my agent with me, and my makeup artist was actually also here. We were on that tour, and I said, one day, I will perform here. I will sing here. And less than 2 full years later, all of us are actually going to be back, and we'll actually say that we got to work there. So it's something that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay. And then you're moving on to...
And then to Melbourne. No, it's just Sydney and Melbourne. And Melbourne is February 7 and 8 with Orchestra Victoria. The one in Sydney is with Sydney Symphony and Orchestra Victoria in Melbourne. And the program is a little bit different. Gerard will be conducting that one also. And then we spend a day, I guess because of flight schedules and whatever, we'll spend a day just able to relax and breathe for a little bit, and then we come home. Yeah, I'll take whatever downtime I can get, and then once we get back home, it's all about this concert.
Okay. Nina Corbus was asking...
Under the bus, she was okay.
Well, what's the hardest song for you? What are the hardest songs for you to sing? Particularly here in this...
I think for this one, I mean, we haven't finalized the entire repertoire yet, and so far I'm looking at everything. And for the most part, everything is within vocal reach anyway. And since all of these songs will be arranged for my voice and for my key,
Yes.
nothing's really going to be too difficult. I think you kind of wander into difficult territory when you stick to what it was originally, which was created for another human being with a whole different instrument. And it's as if you're forcing a cello to play a violin part. And that isn't exactly fair. So the arrangements are being created for my voice. And all of these arrangers know my sweet spots, or Gerard will tell them where my sweet spots are. And so, I mean, if I'm going to sing, say, a song like Defying Gravity, I'm not going to sing it in Idina Menzel's key, because that's just ridiculous. I'll sing it in my key, and then all of those sustained notes, everything that I'm hitting is right for my instrument. I mean, it's challenging, but it's not like I'll have to pray the rosary every time I'm going to sing it. But I mean, the other difficulty is when you sing a song that was immortalized by a singer, and then they made that version so iconic. Then comparisons might be drawn, and then there's that. So all I can do is sing it the way I would sing something, and hope that the audience appreciates that.
Okay, my final question. Ano yung hugot mo sa Hitouch Me?
Oh! I don't know. I don't think about it. I guess I remember, that flutter of that initial attraction to whomever. I mean, whether it's obviously my husband, and then their previous boyfriends, or just attractions to people that no relationship formed from. I mean, if you have that, which means that I have not lost what kilig actually is. So it's that initial spark of attraction when that person just brushes past you or holds your hand for the first time. It makes you feel butterflies. Whee! Yes, that's what that is. So it's all of that.
Okay, that's one question. Miss Nia.
Hi. Yes. I wanted to ask because I was trying to research about the really good singers, how to really sing very well. Because my 4-year-old daughter loves to sing. She's only 4. So while I was reading up, I read that a lot of parents, one of the biggest mistakes is to make their kids like belt out, sing and shout, you know, and that's what a lot of Filipinos think, di ba? Magaling ka kapag bumibirit.
Yeah, magaling kang kapag bumibirit, which is unfair because we're not all created to be trumpets, you know? We're not all created for this homogeneous belting sound. If you were created to belt, then by all means, do it. Because that is how you were created and that is how your body was put together. But not everybody's like that. And you'll have people who will croon. You'll have people who sing classical. And it doesn't mean that their talent is less than those who belt. It's just that they're different. And we should celebrate how singers are different. So for parents, you know, please do not be misled by the notion that kung bumibirit yung anak mo, magaling na siya. Kasi birit is not the be-all and end-all of singing. There is so much more to singing than belting. There is singing. There's listen to jazz singers where it's so much more about lyric and delivery and humor and bite and expression, and it's not just about calisthenics and those high E's, because there are notes that I cannot reach, and I know what my limitations are as a singer also. So I was in an environment in this business where there were a lot of singers who were belting and who were celebrated, and deservedly so. But that made me ask myself, where do I fit in? Because I don't really do this. My voice quality is different. So does that mean I have a place, or does that mean that there is no place for me? And then Miss Saigon happened, and it's like, yeah, that is my place, and there it is. So it's nice knowing that even though my voice is different, may lugar pa rin ako sa industriya, and then what I do can also be seen as correct and something that a parent can say na, yes, this is somebody we can follow. Hindi siya bumibirit, pero pwede mo siyang
World class.
Thank you. Sharon Cuneta, for example, is an alto. She's an alto with a deep, low voice, and she's not any less celebrated as a vocalist. Also, Regine Velasquez, of course, she has these stratospheric high notes. So each singer, I think, has to be given their due for what they uniquely are able to deliver.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nina. Any more like to
After your shows here in the Bronx, will you return to the host?
Yes, I said that we'll be doing it again. I said it. We're going to be doing The Voice Teens, and we start filming in late March. But I don't know yet when the air dates are. That I will let ABS-CBN be the one to announce that. I'll be back. Sharon will be back. I think Bamboo will be back. But we have a fourth. And I know who it is, but I can't say it. You'll all have to find out when you all find out. I can't preempt that bit of news. But there will be four of us. And we have all decided to just have a good time. And and I was out to dinner with Bamboo, and I said, yeah, we'll just have fun this season. And then he looks at me and he says, yeah, you say that now. But by the time the season ends, you're going to have this look on your face, and you're going to be all competitive. So yeah, you know me well. So I'm sure that is going to happen. But I'm looking forward to who we might find. And since we're doing teenagers this coming season, it's people like Morissette, people like Darren Espanto. I'm looking for amazing talent. That's what we're all looking for, of all different kinds. And hopefully we get a really nice, diverse field of singers. Kasi nakaka-umay din if you hear just one type of singing. Especially if 4 days in a row, isang klaseng pagkanta lang naririnig namin. Nakaka-umay din. So we need something, we need diversity, we need uniqueness. We are looking for who you are as a vocalist. Whatever you are, kung sino ka man talaga, yun ang dapat ipakita sa akin.
Okay, thank you. A question from Rappler.
Hi, Leo. I was wondering
concert that you knew had to be part of the show?
Oh my gosh. I knew we had to include something from Les Mis, but not what I normally sing. Because I sing that a lot, and I use the opportunities to do concerts here to try out different material and stuff that people may not expect me to sing. So we have that. So we have Leela Chopper represented. I knew I had to include something from Hamilton because Lynn might kill me if I don't. And it's like Burn. We're doing Burn. And I've road tested it already, so I know that it works. The arrangement works, and my gosh, if we're talking hugot, that is one major hugot song. And I love the point of view, and I love which character sings it, and the perspective that she presents, which we don't always get. I mean, when we hear the words political sex scandal, for example, you will hear from the politician who made the wrong. We don't always hear what the wife has to say. But with that song, we actually do. So whenever I sing it, I think about all these political wives throughout history that have been wronged by their otherwise brilliant, intelligent, and magnetic husbands. And wonder what they must have been thinking at the time that the scandals came to light. So I channel that for that song. What else? I can't reveal all of the material, but those are two that I certainly can. And I'm hoping Manuel approves of what we do with Burn. We pretty much stuck to what it originally is. I mean, if something is right, there's no messing with it anymore.
Okay, we have a question from Philippine Star Online.
Okay.
Nalea.
Hi.
Well, similar.
What line or hugot line from any of the songs you're gonna feature touched you the most?
Oh, great.
Another hugot question.
I know. I mean, because I revealed what Burn is, I'm going to reveal what, when the song starts to really build and the biting things that she says to her husband without being in front of her husband. She says things like, you forfeit the rights to my heart, you forfeit the place in our bed. Like, I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. It's things like that. You forfeit your place in my heart, you forfeit your rights to my heart, you forfeit the place in our bed, you'll sleep in your office instead, with only the memories of when you were mine. I hope that you burn. So, whenever I've sung the lines, I hope that you burn, can you imagine every bad relationship you've been in? And I mean, I've done the whole I'm burning all the letters that you've ever written to me. I've done it. I've actually sat in front of a metal trash can, one by one, pictures, letters, flame. I've done this, smoke heading out into the Manila Bay. I've done this. I've totally been through it in my lifetime. So those memories enter me when I sing that song. So yeah, so it's like it's painful to remember that, but incredibly cathartic afterwards. So I'm hoping if there's anybody going through a bad patch in their lives, that they can let me sing it for you, and they can then leave the theater feeling, I got that out. It feels good. I feel good.
Thank you. A question from Pep.pk.
Yes. You already had Parma songs from past weeks. How would you differentiate this from your past concerts?
Well, the one I can directly compare this concert to would be the Broadway concert. So in terms of what it is, it's pretty much the same. It's just 15 years later, and well, a lot of other shows have been produced. So a lot of the newer stuff, we will actually get to present. Saw shows that were produced, say, in the last few years on Broadway or at the West End. But we also have stuff from older shows, because, I mean, they've become classics. You know, I mean, they're obsessions of fans from all over the world, and so we take a different spin on the song, and some of the arrangements have absolutely nothing to do with the show that it came from, and it's just its own standalone piece, which is fun to do, because then I don't have to try and fit it into what the show was, and I just treat it as a song and infuse a story and try to keep it alive in its own way. So, for example, if it's a song from Les Mis, but the arrangement's very different and very modern, then it evokes something else. It evokes another story that has nothing to do with the show from which it came. But yeah, the only difference is that we have newer shows now represented in this one compared to the other one.
You're going to be handling teams on The Voice.
Yeah.
How would you differentiate your judging style or your coaching style?
I don't think there's really much of a difference. I mean, I'm super nice when it's like little kids because I don't like making people cry if I don't have to. You want them to be confident. You want to let kids feel that, hey, I learned something, I can go further, and you kind of want to keep pushing in the right direction. And I guess I learned that from mentors that I've had, that I've fallen in love with, and they always make me feel like I was stronger than I really was. With adults, I can absolutely be more direct and to the point, and I'm not always kind. I'm a little more honest with what I say because, well, they're grown-ups, they can handle it. I assume. Because it's not always the case. I think I've heard some things at some point along the way. But with teens, you're kind of in this in-between. And what I want, I guess, that these young people to know going in, before they decide to pick me, I am a stickler for whether or not you are in tune. If you are not in tune, and I even to the kids, I tell them, okay, you're flat, go higher. And I don't baby my kids, even then. So you will not get babied by me. That's for your parents to do. It's not for me to do, I'm not your mother. You know, I'm supposed to be the mean one. But if you're flat, I will tell you, straight out, you're flat. So you can expect me to be honest, you can expect me to be direct, but if there is something to celebrate, I will be your biggest cheerleader. I will be completely behind you and supporting you, no matter what happens, until the very end of the competition. And whatever happens, we will have a good time. It will be fun. And not just for the people watching. I mean, it is a TV show and it's still entertainment. But it will be fun for those who end up on my team. I try to keep things light and interesting while still having some educational content for them. I don't want them to leave feeling like they got nothing out of it.
Thank you. Any more questions? Gemma? Yes, Orange.
Yes,
Magazine.
What's your favorite and least favorite song first?
My favorite? Oh, I don't have a favorite. I think the favorite song I have is whatever I've been so excited to learn or relearn, or if I know that there's an arrangement of something, of a song that I already love, then I look forward to it. Least favorite? I think a song only becomes a least favorite if I'm feeling under the weather and I feel like I can't reach the notes on that day. And then I get all paranoid. Because I wish I didn't have to sing that song right now, but I know I have to. It happens normally if I'm doing an 8-show week. And I'm at show number 7 and 8. And when I have my big solos coming up, and then in my head I'm like, I'm so tired, I really don't want to do this right now. And it threatens to psych me out, but I have to win my argument with myself and open my mouth and sing the song and gather it up again for the next one. So I think it's only when I don't feel like I'm at 100%. That's when whatever song I open my mouth to sing feels like it's not my favorite song. But when I'm raring to go and when I'm excited, then every song that comes, I want to do. Thank you.
One more. There's Cinderella. Although I know you won't be performing any Disney songs on the concert.
Disney, I don't know. I need to confirm what our lists are. We're not doing, well, Cinderella, this was the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella that we did. But as far as the Disney question, I honestly don't know. There might be, but parang hindi yata. Well, if it's going to be a Disney song, it has to come from the live action musicals. And there have not been that many. I mean, there's been Beauty and the Beast, there's been Aladdin, there has been Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, I don't know, maybe one song from one of them. I'll have to check.
Speaking of live action, I read somewhere that they're planning to do Aladdin and Mulan. Would you be
Well, for
interested?
Aladdin, for sure, they've done it. And it's been on Broadway for a few years.
as a
And it's
movie.
been in the, a what?
As a movie.
Oh, okay.
Would you be
A
interested
live
to be
action.
part?
I'll be part of it, sure, but don't let me play Mulan. It's a younger woman's game. And it really should be a younger woman to play that. Someone in her 20s to do that. And somebody who can really pass off as a man without all the makeup. Because you have to believe that part of the story too. And if we as audiences don't believe it, it's like, patay na tayo. But I would not mind being a part of it if everything aligned just right for cameos or for small bits and pieces here and there. I mean, I would love to. I mean, Disney's a gift that keeps on giving. So if it keeps on giving in this way, then I will absolutely take it.
But how's your relationship with Disney?
Very good.
Any still plans of having you?
Oh, I still sing for them, actually. I still sing for them. There's going to be, if there's a new toy for either Jasmine or Mulan that requires the singing, I have to go into the recording studio and record. If there's an attraction that requires a brand new recording of that song, I go in, I record, and with the way that digital recordings take place now, I can record here, and all the files just get sent, and everything gets put together. So, again, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and I still sing for them.
Miss Leia.
Any more questions?
Will you be doing a movie?
Oh, that question. Will I still be doing a movie?
With
With you know who, yeah. I don't know who the better question to ask would be, if it was me or him. I have yet to see a script. He says he's seen it. I've not seen it yet. And I think we both need to really be in fighting shape. And I may be closer to it than he is. Just a dig in that direction. He says he's been working out. He says he's been eating right. I have yet to see evidence of this. He's still in America, and you know what happens when we go to the States. But I don't know. I mean, I would love to. If schedules work out, but I'm looking at my year and certain prospects and possibilities. And I'm not optimistic about our prospects for doing a film this year. But, you know, one of my friends says this, you want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. So, we may make all these plans and then something happens, and something else then takes its place. So you never know.
Questions? Any more?
It's okay.
Oh, Isa, something to ask? From Manila Times? Okay.
Hello, Ms. Leia. Is there any time na you sing a song tapos nag-struck talaga siya sa'yo, then you had a hard time singing it?
Oh yeah, there was one. There was one time. Thankfully, it was during a rehearsal and not a performance. after I gave birth, like 3 months after I gave birth, I had a gig. I hadn't sung, I hardly sang during my pregnancy, and so when I did this gig, it's like, okay, I'll sing I Give My Life For You from Miss Saigon. It was the request of a private engagement. So I got to the rehearsal, I started to sing the song, and that's when it really hit me, because the song is singing to her child. And I had just become a mother 3 months before. So that is when I couldn't sing. I had the hardest time being able to sing. And I had friends who had experienced the same thing. I mean, ladies that had played Kim in Miss Saigon and then had children and then had to sing the song. And they couldn't, we all had the same issue. We could not get through the song. If we sang it, emotionally connected to it. So what we do is we had to shut ourselves off and step back to still have a little bit of connection, but to at least get through to the end. I mean, love songs don't do this to me. I love singing love songs. Heartbreak songs don't do that, because the more heartbroken you are, the better it is for the song. And if you're having an emotional breakdown, all the better for the storytelling. But that song, that one, and if I really think about it and I sing for my daughter, forget it, I can't do it. So I have to sing to some fictional child, some fictional offspring of mine, and then I can do it. And that's the only way I can sing that song. To do it authentically would be the death of me.
Okay, thank you. Last question from, who wants to ask the last question? Okay. Alan from Inquirer.
Yay!
Hi, Ms. Lea.
Hi.
Since this is going to be mounted Valentine's Day,
Well, not quite. After.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit after.
yeah, but so I'm just wondering, what would you say has been the most memorable Valentine's Day?
For me, the most memorable Valentine's Day. Well, I mean, my husband and I, he complains that a lot of the milestones in our lives are so closely spaced together. Our wedding anniversary is the 10th of January. Valentine's Day is the 14th of February. My birthday is the 22nd of February. His birthday is the 20th of April. Our daughter's birthday is the 16th of May. So everything is... So, you know, Valentine's Day just kind of gets, you know, but we always go out to dinner, we always try to make a connection with one another and try to remember that it's, you know, a day of lovers. But sometimes it's also a day for me to work, and I end up singing romantic love songs for the people in front of me who are celebrating Valentine's Day. I don't think there's one Valentine's that sticks out in my mind per se. Not even the ones where I've spent it working, but I think I'll be spending Valentine's Day working on this. So I guess that'll be the most memorable one, since it will be the most recent one.
But what would you say is your idea of romantic?
I think my idea of romantic has changed since I've gotten married and I had a kid. I think romance is still being able to look at your husband or partner and know everything about them and still love them. That's probably my idea of romance. It's not this unknown, you hear the bells ringing, you hear orchestra playing, you see each other. No. My husband and I have been together for 15 years as a couple, 13 years married last January. And we know practically everything there is to know about each other. We like each other anyway, in spite of all of it. We make each other laugh. And, you know, there's a funny photograph that he takes, and I appreciate everything that he does. If I'm not able to do something, he picks up the slack for me. If I go abroad, he becomes mother and father for our daughter. And then when he's off playing golf, or he's off with his friends, when he's taking a break, then that's what we do for each other. And we're family. So I guess for me, it's knowing that here is this man who is fulfilling every single promise made when we got married. And we love each other deeply and beyond romantic. It's like we're each other's best friend, we're each other's confidant, the first person to get good news, the first person to get bad news, one of the most valuable people in my life if I want an honest opinion about anything, even to how my haircut looks, how my makeup looks, what I'm wearing. And he'll be honest. He's like, he will not let me go out of the house if I'm wearing something funny, which I appreciate. It's like, honey, no. And my daughter does that for him. It's like, daddy, no, you cannot go out looking like that. And so we like each other as well as love each other. So that's what romance is for me.
And my last one, I just want to go back to the concert. You mentioned a while ago that you'll be experimenting or trying out new stuff here.
Yeah.
Pero when you have to sing like on my own, all the favorite stuff, how do you make sure that it's something worth listening to again?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot actually of yung mga tried and tested, those things. We're avoiding a lot of it because I get to sing that throughout the year. But for concerts here, we like, testing material that either I've never sung before, because it's adventurous and it's fun and it's exciting and it makes me nervous and that's a good thing. And it keeps me on my toes as a performer. Na hindi panay yung yun na lang ng yun yung kinakanta ko, na meron ding mga bago. It's good that I'm challenged and Gerard makes sure that I am. But as far as singing a lot of the tried and tested stuff, whenever I do, I guess I just keep the storytelling very clear in my head. I have to know the story that I'm telling first before I can tell it to the audience. And then, if everything is in my head, very specific, very clear, as in clearer in my head than it will be to whoever's watching, then I figured that's the way to keep it fresh and to keep it new. And the cool thing about singing a lot of these songs for years and years and years is that sometimes without expecting it, something new happens, as in performance or in rehearsal, that you did not realize you could have done. And then you try it, and then it works. And then something else happens at another performance later on, and then it keeps it alive and it keeps it new. And when the performance is always played by, say, a live orchestra or even a live band, because there's so many other human beings involved in the process, then that chemistry will create something different and new every time.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. We still have our cocktails from Mango Tree.
Yay,
so
thank you.
You can stay if you want. And we'd like to thank, of course, Mango Tree for hosting